Gentlemen, today's matchup is a timeless classic. We have Faker up against Dopa. Supposed rivals, obviously two mid laners that took different career paths. One of them forced, of course. Dopa removed from pro play, banned permanently on the Korean server, whilst Faker, he's the OG. I think even when League of Legends eventually dies, I'm not sure when it will, but Faker will be known as the guy for League of Legends. It's going to be hard to surpass his legacy, even if other mid laners, I don't think Faker right now is the best mid laner in the world, but the word Faker, the name Faker, will always, I think, be associated with League of Legends. And could that have been Dopa if Dopa stayed in pro play and built up a team? Who knows? We'll never know. The dark horse. Dopa, very famous, his stream, his YouTube. Definitely a successful guy, but in a different way, as we're going for a level 1 coin flip. These invades are very hard to gauge. You need to make your mind up. Am I going to coin flip the entire game at level 1? Or will I head to the mid lane and try and find some consistency? And there's no right answer, It's very situational dependent. If you have a very strong early game like a Sylas, you can go for it. Faker moves in there with the E start, and that's a beautiful pickup. He gets an assist, gets a Dark Seal stack, and now Dopa needs to try and use this health advantage to build up a lead for himself. The Orianna-Sylas matchup, it will favor the Orianna for a little bit, okay? But Sylas, as he comes into the game, he starts working his way up to Everfrost and Hourglass. He will start be able to catch out the Orianna, especially when she has no sums, off guard, and be able to blow her up. So expect Dopa to build an early CS lead, but for Faker in the mid to late game to really find his stride and come into his own in the matchup. The wave is situated perfect for Dopa. I suspect he'll try and... You see how the wave is? You do not want this wave to crash. So Dopa can use his E, perfect, and you'll tank the minion hits and try and freeze it just out of reach for Faker to get in there. So if Faker wants to get any of the CS, he needs to take Qs and auto harass by Dopa. And Dopa should move up here with the Qs. He actually uses it to CS. Faker's running the gauntlet, by the way. A little bit risky here. And you know what's good? Faker puts 2 points into Q to try and get that wave in. Don't be so stuck on your skill order. Skill order can be situational sometimes. He hasn't put a level into W. Gets the Q, puts 2 points in to try and get the wave. And look at Dopa. Really nice map awareness. One of the biggest things that these mid laners have is like game awareness. And they just seem to have... They just know where you're backing. It's so hard to get a good safe back in as a 2v2 outbreaks. And nothing's going to come of it. Interesting. Faker, probably happy with that. He'll be able to teleport back here. I'm not sure if Dopa can freeze the wave at all. We'll come back, get the boots, get the Dorans, and we'll probably teleport back into mid lane because we can't allow... If we can stop Dopa's base, can we get it? Oh my god, that's a beautiful stop. Dopa will be furious with that. And now Faker, you want to get this wave in. You want to stop this next one. I think Dopa will sack it. He'll just go out, just out. Yeah, we can't quite get it in, unfortunately. Dopa TP's back in. And that's a good TP because it's tanking. And now it's going to be frozen once again. Lee Sin comes through. Q lands. And I think that Faker's just going to straight up drop hit. And Dopa picks that kill up. Just the small things, right? It's like the small minimal things in these high elo games. And you are looking for that early Oblivion Orb when you play into things like the Sylas, like the Vladimir, anything with sustain in the mid lane. Executioners, Oblivion, get that Grievous Wound, guys, early on, very early on. It can turn the game. It can turn those early fights where that W heal is negated by 40 to 60%. It is actually ridiculous how much value you're getting out of these items early on. It looks like Dopa has set up a freeze. Faker opts for the coin flip. He's going to roam down into the bot lane. He's over. Who is he going to try and focus? You've got to try and get that Samira, I reckon. Faker dropping very low. And look at Dopa on the minimap, guys. Aphelios picks up a double, gets the triple kill. And blue side, you've got to be pretty happy with that. Faker, 3 stacks to the Dark Seal. But Dopa, man, he's whittling away that mid lane tower, getting extra XP and CS. $1K gold lead to blue side. Dude, that is just crazy. I remember like when you verse these players, like I verse a lot of high elo mids. I don't like to talk about it, but I will. That They always know where you're backing. And it's just like, dude, am I on vision? Are they stream sniping? What's going on? They just have very good awareness. They get into your head and be like, if I was him, where would I back? Where would I be? And it just ends up being very frustrating as once again, Faker overextends, gets picked up, looking for the 2v2. Huge ultimate by Dopa. He's such a level advantage onto Faker now. And that's the start you want. You gotta play through bot side. Lucidity boot pickup now by the Sylas. It does make sense. Almost always going for Lucidity on Sylas. As the patch dropped yesterday for the Sylas changes, guys, we're still waiting and seeing. Like, a lot of people I notice on Reddit, like, I don't know about you guys, but I find Reddit pretty cringe. Oh, is he gonna... No, oh, another base stop. They overreact to win rates on day one of the patch. People are like, oh my god, this champion has this win rate. And it's like, dude, your data, your statistics are from like 12 games in Korean Diamond and above. Like, just wait and see. Be patient. As we stop Dopa's base and we pull a freeze. The question is, what do you want to do with the wave? Being very careful. Yeah, you see, they're being very careful here. Not too hard shove it. He wants to come in. He wants to hit level 6. Flash in 30 seconds. Try and pick up Dopa. Probably with some assist from the alley or the Graves. And interestingly, Dopa actually doesn't opt for the Oblivion Orb early. He just goes straight Lost Chapter. If you have 1300 gold, get the Lost Chapter. You're going to get more value out of that mana return than the Oblivion Orb. But if you had 800 gold, 100% the Oblivion Orb. As Faker moves in, E2 does not land. You just want to be a nuisance. I think Orianna's not situated too horrendously in the meta at the moment. Maybe with the return of Syndra, she'll be worse. Syndra, of course, is a counter to Orianna. You can outrange her, and the CC stun setup is way out of her range, so I don't know how Ori's going to do in the meta. Faker moves in, looking, pops the ultimate, pops it behind her so she goes back in the tower, but Dopa pops that phase rush, speeds out. And the other day I learnt, guys, that the fastest bear in the world can run 160 meters in 10 seconds, but Usain Bolt can only run around about 100 meters in 10 seconds. So if you're getting chased by a bear, you're probably going to die. As we come into the bot lane, and he's going to try and pick up this Samira. This Aphelios 6-2. Does get shut down though. Come on, Faker flashes in. The W lands. The E, everything is perfect in the setup. 4 stacks. Dark Seal. And do you see how much more active Faker is on the map? This is not... like, this is simply just how the matchup should be played. Sylas needs to be moving around the map. Very active in the early game. Lane dominance, lane freezing, high CS. It can be done, but... when you're playing this Sylas, man, you need to be super active, using that mobility to your advantage in the early game. Such a good champion for solo queue. I love it. TP up in, what is that, 18 seconds? Lost Chapter, looking for the Everfrost. Head back in the mid lane. Hopefully the Aphelios will get sent back down bot before that wave crashes. And Aphelios is actually pretty good in the meta at the moment, I feel. Very underrated pick. My mid lane underrated picks at the moment, I think Lissandra is heavily underrated. I don't think... you don't have to pick Lissandra as a LeBlanc counter. I think it's very strong. I think Galio still has his strength. I think people sleep on Galio a little bit. What other picks do I not mind in the mid lane? Nautilus? Should be a free kill. Nautilus ult on Sylas is so strong. You know who I like mid lane? Varus mid lane. I think Varus mid lane can be played. If the enemy picks Ryze, something like that, Cassiopeia, I think you can pick Varus. There's nothing wrong with Varus mid. Bring back Season 6. As Faker goes way too deep there. Dopa just playing his slow, methodical game. Look at him. Slow CS, no risk. Reminds me of that. I'm not sure if a lot of you guys watched it, but I did a VOD review on Xayah. He hit rank 1 in EU Nordic. Now his, of course, name is Jebsu. He plays a lot of TF nowadays. the perfect player. He has that Orianna KDA playstyle that worked so well. And Dopa kind of has it. Like, he takes a little bit more risk, I would say, but like, it's a good playstyle to climb in solo queue. It's looked down. A lot of people like scoff and like, ugh, he doesn't take any risk. It's so slow and boring. Think about solo queue, man. Like, get a bloody Medjai's, sit back out of range, and a lot of the players are just gonna limit test around you. And you can just pick up free kills and free stacks as Faker moves in. Nice job, Nautilus. Has the lead kick. Careful, Samira's almost ult. Action gets released on the service today, by the way, guys. Just a reminder to probably ban it or dodge if your team gets it. My guess is Action 45 to 46% overall win rate in the first 2 to 3 days. I don't imagine it's going to be too high. I played some of the champion on the PBE, and whilst I think it will find its stride in the meta, eventually, I just think it's going to take time for people to work out the kit. It's very complex. You need to think back to when Gwen was released. People slept on Gwen, thought it was trash. I did a VOD review of Faker bloody doing... What did he do? Sundera. He did Sundera Gwen. I did Caps. He was doing Lichbane. Bunch of crazy shit. And that's why Gwen had a very low win rate to begin with. And people were saying, trash champion, scissors are crap, don't care. Well, look at us now. Gwen is an abomination. It's disgusting how broken this champion is. Anyways, back into the matchup. We have 40 CS down. Dopa actually really likes the Liandry's pickup right now on this mage. I think Liandry's very underrated mythic. There's actually a challenger Victor one trick on Korea. Liandry's every game. Loves that burn. Very consistent. The haste is nice too. Dopa TPs into the top side Faker. That's the stolen Samira ult is one of the worst. Samira ult, Aphelios ult, Zoe ult, Udyr. Any other... What's the worst ult for Sylas to steal? I think the best is something like... I love like Zillion, dude. Zillion, bloody Malphite, things like that. But the worst? Ultimate onto the Samira. Here we go. Waiting for the Ali combo. Ali can't get in. Good peeling by the Nautilus. Nautilus ults the Sylas. And I'm pretty sure Ali's going to go in. TP on TP. This has to be Gnar because Dopa used it top. Gnar comes in. Where the hell is Dopa? Is he just pushing topside? And... Oh, shit. Oh, damn. We get that lead. Pick up. Flashes in. The Samira dodges it with the W. Look at Dopa on the minimap, guys. He clears the top side, gets the tower. And Dopa loves these side lane plays. Because if it's net even for his team in the mid lane, which sometimes it is, like, he picks up so much extra experience and gold. He has a 40 CS lead over Faker at the moment. He gets the Oblivion Orb I was talking about. And this is where Orianna really comes into the game. You hit a big ultimate, it doesn't matter that they're 5k behind, it doesn't matter. You hit a 5-man ultimate, I guarantee you can turn the game. That's what I love about Orianna. There's just this what if factor, you know? Me personally, I always miss my ults. I don't know why, but I do. I think one of the biggest things for Orianna that I learnt, I've played 550 to 600 Orianna games total. The biggest thing for me is holding my ultimate. I used to be so impatient with my ultimate. I'd use it at the start of the fight. I would just pull it whenever I had a chance. Be very patient with it. Wait for the enemy to come in. A lot of the times in the team fight, they're thinking, oh, Orianna didn't pull the ultimate at the start. She must have already used it somewhere. And then they stop thinking. They start thinking about other things. Where's the Gnar? What's happening? And then boom, they all subconsciously start stacking. And you're sitting at the Orianna just rubbing your hands together. Bang, 5-man ultimate. They all stack. It happens so often. It's weird how our minds work. But I guarantee be a little bit more patient. I'm not saying like, I mean, if there's the Orianna pick, go for it. But don't rush into it, buddy. They will stack. This seems a tad risky. Faker has teleport. I'm surprised he's not really deep into the bot side. He's opting here. He's sacking so much CS, but he just really wants to find a skirmish. But I don't think he's going to find it. Now he'll slowly want... Nope. Look at all the... Look at the minimap on the bot side. Do you see how disadvantageous this is for blue side? They're missing so much minions. And then probably Dopa's going to run down bot soon and pick up that huge stacked wave. Vilios picked. Big ult by Dopa. Faker has to use the stopwatch. And is he dead? He's got to run. You got to get out of there, son. And this is probably going to be the turn I was talking about. You're lucky that doesn't land. Lee Sin trying to follow it up. Lee Sin flashes in. And that is going to be a team fight ace. And puts them 3k within the gold lead. And look at the bot side wave. I reckon Dopa back and get it. He's not going to pick it up. He'll pick up the mid lane wave. And yeah, I mean, that team fight was just really bad. Disgusting. Doesn't work out. Even though it's so far behind, they just played it very slow, played it correct. Nah, we'll get a huge lead off this wave now. I don't see much Nah anymore. What? I'm not sure what happened. Was it the Stride Breaker nerfs just killed him, I guess? He just fell out of meta just like that. Don't see him anymore at all. As the Morello is purchased second by Dopa. I don't mind Morello. I've talked about it a lot. It's a very cheap item. You get legendary. You get the passive pretty quickly. Morello, underrated. I think there was that big stigma for a little bit there where, you know, LS influenced the meta a little bit by a lot of people just thinking in their head that Morello all the time is terrible to go early. But sometimes you get a lot of value out of it. It makes sense in the team comp situationally. The gold just lines up perfectly. Deal the Gnarl. EW. Bang. Thank you very much. Faker with his trademark. Faker does 3 points into Q a lot of the time for the wave clear, and then he maxes W. Which not all Sylases do. There's a lot of different skill orders on Sylas. It's very strange, actually. It's always W or Q max. And sometimes interchangeably, like 3 points here, 3 points here. But never Emax, so maybe I'll have to start that up to try and be unique. I believe in orbs on Faker, by the way. No healing gonna come out from him. Dopa picks him up in the side lane. And we'll continue to press that CS lead, 140. I mean, it's 19 minutes. Like, it's not even that impressive farm. It's just that Faker's 90 farm at like almost 20 minutes. Like, that's, you know, pretty embarrassing. As I see a lot of people wanting me to do a Tyler 1 review of his mid lane. I watched him play Zoe the other day, and I genuinely had a spew bucket, and I think I vomited 3 times during the game. So my doctors advised me not to watch anymore. As we TP topside, looking to pick somebody up. We have ultimate. Nautilus should be the ult still. Yep. Leos comes through. Bang, bang, bang. Nautilus ult pops through. Oh my god, everything coming out. Alistair grabs the Nautilus kill, unfortunately. Dopa, look at the ball there in the back end. It's so hard to play through this. Dopa has ult too. Tight game. This is what I love. Hey, can we please give us the red? Hey, god damn it. Dragon's up. They're pinging for a 20-minute Baron Rush, and this makes me nervous. I think it's actually a pretty good call if there's no vision. I love 20-minute Baron Rushes. I think, especially in low elos. Dude, in low elo, like, for me, low elo is like below Masters or something. But like in lower elo, you're missing out on like 12 Baron Rushes throughout a game because no one really knows how to play it. The problem is situations like this where it just becomes such a mess. No one knows what they're doing, and here we go. The entire game is up to your team being able to play the Baron fight. Being able to turn, get off the Baron. And this is just a fiesta, man. It's 3k now, but they want to start it. They want to try and finish it off, I reckon. Keep the aggro. I reckon red side gets Baron. And it ends up being a disaster. And that's the risk of a Baron call. If they sneaked it, perfect. But they weren't able to. Couldn't do it quick enough. They'll get Baron, get the reset, probably head over to the Dragon now. It's Aphelios, Shilbo Collector Rapid Aphelios. Is this the standard build? I thought you meant to go like, was it? I thought it was like Kraken or like into Hurricane or something. Is this a new build? Sure. Viego hovering around the dragon. Over we go. I'm just trying to think who I favor in the late game. Who are you guys giving it to in the late game? I actually don't know. It's probably going to situate on Orianna ult or what ult that... If Faker can steal a good Ori or a Gnar ult, he can probably turn the game. But then if Dopa hits a 5-man ultimate, GG, wrap it up. Both ADs have solid scaling. Lee Sin probably falls off compared to Graves, but good pick potential. Tank Viego makes me nervous, however. That's ridiculous, that champ. Get up into the top side. No TP for another minute, though. So his team needs to be really careful. Hopefully he pings him a couple times. Fight breaking out. Faker trying to get... He should steal the Gnar ult. He doesn't have flash. Let's see how he plays it. Moves in. Gets the Gnar ult. Puts them back into the tower. That was beautiful. Samira picks up a triple, I believe. Faker moving in. And he's not able to get much done, really. The ult was smooth, but Dopa 6-1 and 12. 6-1 and 12. With that 80 CS lead. He's looking pretty good. Pretty sturdy. Mid inhib should probably... What do you guys think about staying around for the mid inhib? I think they're going to try and go for it. I don't know if it's beneficial. 23 minutes in a mid inhib value is pretty low. In a map like this, especially on red side, like the inhib values would go... I would say bot, then top, then mid. Bot, the furthest inhib away from the main objective, which is usually Baron, should hold the most value, right? It makes a lot of sense because it creates a pressure point furthest away from the Baron, which is probably going to be the objective. But, I mean, it all depends on the timers, the Baron timers, if it's been dropped or not, so... Just small things to think about. I don't like, if a Kale's... If you're up against, like, a really late-game scaling champ, like a Kale, who has phenomenal wave clear, it's... If you drop, like, a double inhib and there's no objectives the next 5 minutes, it's like... The Kale just sits in base, dude, and he just farms it. He literally just farms it. You're putting him at such an advantage. So it's... I think in the general consensus is take the inhibitor. But sometimes it's situational. I think it's more so beneficial in the higher divisions where the players kind of know how to play. No offense to anyone. But you should understand that. Most of the time, grab up that inhib if it's up. Head back to base, looking for the Cosmic Drive next item. Dopa completes the Hourglass. Probably into a Void. Not much AP, to be honest, with that setup. Very defensive. Very utility heavy for his team. And Dopa hates, I don't know why, but he really dislikes changing to blue trinket. He's probably one of the most heavily invested yellow trinket players that I've watched out of anyone that I review. Loves to place the vision, I guess. Gold is dead even. 25 minutes in the game. This Gnar is absolutely... I'd rather the Gnar stay in base and not give Faker the ult. Faker moves in, looks for the Lee. He steals the Lee Sin kick away. Dopa has the ult. Not able to get anything off though. We're not done. Have flash on the Silas. He's looking to try and get back into the fight. And I think Viego just goes a little bit too ham. They pull off. And it's nice to see this happen to Faker where he has 120 farm at 26 minutes. When like some games, this CS is just Like, it's not as though FAKER hasn't been farming. It's just been so much action and so much fiesta that he's not able to take the time to farm. And sometimes these games happen, guys, and it's good to see. The problem is he's so far gold-wise behind Dopa at this point. ADCS is just... it's too much. Too much to recover from. We're gonna get a dragon fight soon. TP comes through from the Viego, looking for a flank behind. Dopa, the entire team has sums. I think that should be fine. Whee! Dragon spawning. Viego's like 10 health without TP. They're probably gonna sack it. Third dragon though. Oh, Baron's coming up too. You need vision. You need vision, but you don't want to face check. This is, it's always so awkward in scenarios like this. It's so easy to blame the support too, because you're like, dude, I just have to, and dude, FAKER is just face checking this shit. He does not care. But yeah, usually you need the support to move through first. Someone like an Ali is perfect to try and set up vision. And you can see the Gnar is way overextended here. FAKER has no ult for 10 seconds, remember? Ah, perfect. Everfrost land as well. How easy is that? Now it's time to turn it up for the Baron. I would be a little bit nervous against this Orianna though. Whenever against an AoE champion, like Baron is always very hard to take if you're against champions like Orianna, like Kiana, or poke champs like Varus, Xerath, because they can safely just... you're all grouping and clumping in the perfect spot. You're so vulnerable against these champions. You need to be careful. Some juicy fruits. The sweeper, super valuable. We're going to come through. We have flash, remember. 10 seconds on Gnar. Gnar has TP. Who finds FAKER's face? He's 3 levels behind the Orianna now. Not a good spot, and they're perma grouping. TP comes through from the Gnar top side. FAKER trying to find a good spot. And he's really struggling. He's really struggling to get into this fight. He does have TP, but there's no good flank wards either. If there was a really deep flank ward, like at the enemy red buff that someone placed, like you could sit in base, get the home guards, and just chill and wait. Nautilus. I'd like to see this placed on Orianna's skull. Gnar's mega. You should just wait for that timeout now. And it's just a contention for the mid lane wave, isn't it? Look at the bot side pressure, but... I'd love to see FAKER run bot side with TP, pressure point that tower, and then his team rushes Nash. Because if someone important answers that bot side, they can rush this. Shove through one more mid lane wave, and then you got to make a decision. Make the decision right now. What's the play? It's looking like a Baron. It's looking like a Baron. Gotta get off of it. Here comes Gnar. Gnar has flash, almost mega. FAKER's the ultimate's timing out, has to press it. Man, high elo ARAM fights are so difficult. I still think FAKER in the side lane there with TP. I think that's the right macro call. So he has teleport now. He looks like he's gonna get a reset for the Cosmic. Yep. He'll reset for Cosmic, but they have no vision on the Nash. 10 seconds now for ultimate. And this is just such awkward macro. Base is for the Cosmic Drive. TP's on the mid lane wave, and they'll run through for Nash. Let's see if they can get onto it. Gnar trying to zone. Let's see what he does. Gnar ult stolen. FAKER has flash, remember. He's trying to play it cool. Goes in, gets a 2-man Gnar ult. Has the stopwatch, and Dopa uses his flash. Let's see if they're able to pick up FAKER. They're not. Fiesta. Absolute fiesta. And instantly they're teleporting in the bot lane for the end. Now, Dopa did live. The only member alive is Dopa. Let's see if he can clutch the game. Viego TP's in. Faker calls for the... They're actually not going to be able to end the game. They're going to go for the Nash Rush. And God, I would be reporting... This Gnar is so useless. Poor guy, 1 in 10. His ult wasn't that bad, I guess. Dopa. 6-1, 13. He's had a very good game. Very patient. He's just not able to make the impact here. The only way you can win it is at least a 3 to 4 man shockwave on the carries. Third dragon gonna get set up. Blue side should be able to capture it. Faker no flash. Aphelios, no flashes to be had. The siege will be very hard. The short, like it's a pretty short range comp as Faker moves in. Absolutely pops the Samira. Don't know why you'd be that far at a base, but she just gives them a clean cut window. Faker not going to group up with his team, going to opt for the bot side, try and hit level 16. And if you do this, just ping your team a couple times. Just wait 10 seconds on the next wave. Try and ping the waves that you're going to be pressuring, by the way. So you should be pinging the next wave that comes through. Level 16. And I think that, honestly, in solo queue, 1-3-1s are overrated. I feel like in low elo, people don't play them right. 4-1s are generally better, I think. 4-1s are like 3-2s. Just pressuring 2 waves. 3 waves just seems too much for a lot of the lower elo players. They don't know how to do it correctly. Someone gets picked out, of course. Just a nice simple 4-1 or even a 5, just a 5-man ARAM into a siege with Nash probably will give you better results than trying to play the perfect macro in lower elos. Teleport, looking for the decap now. 7 stacks in the Dark CL. 33 minutes, teleport up in 30. And I just don't see how you're going to win if you're blue side. Sorry, red side. Look at the Aphelios items. There's no way. There's no way. You have Graves Aphelios so fed with Viego cleanup. And then on top of that, then you got bloody Faker Silas. Shoving through. Nice pick on the Gnar. His 11th death. That guy's reportable. We'll shove through. Look for the top side tower too. Teleports up. He's ready. Let's see who answers him. No one. There'll be no one to answer him here. Should be free tower. Thank you very much. Now it's the base siege. Can Dopa find the 6-man shockwave? Unlikely, but possible. Medium bot inhib dropped. It's all in the top lane. You don't you don't want to try and pressure 5 on top side now. The macro is usually sending 1 person deep into the base and then sending 4 on the top. The siege won't come through now. I'll be in a minute. It's no mana. Dopa really needs that death cap to change the game. I don't think he's gonna get enough gold. That's a really pricey item. Faker doesn't get an elixir. Ugh. I don't know what you guys... I love elixirs. Next fight will determine the game. So, like, even though you're saving up for a death cap, sure, like, the elixir value, I swear to God. Interesting decision. TP's still up, so there's no point grouping. We can sit in the side lane to try and escort this wave through. Oh, but look at the deep TP ward in the base, by the way. As Faker comes in. I don't know where the hell that TP... Is he TPing? Is he basing? He's going to base and then TP. Ah, he bases for death cap, and now he's teleporting in. Has flash up. Steals the Orianna ult. Ah, flashes. Gets a 3-man. It's beautiful setup in the Hourglass too now. And this should be the game ender. That was beautiful. Did you see how he R'd? But then the way the animation works is you R and then you flash in. Faker catches them by surprise and he turns the game on its head. And that, boys, is going to be GG. Pretty good matchup overall. Like, Dopa 6-2 and 13 to end. Faker 7-7, 18. A little bit spicy. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I love watching these two boys clash in solo queue. And until next time, lads, I'll catch you later. Peace.